What's up, you guys? It's good, YouTube. So it's 3 a.m. in Dallas right now. At the gym, flipping around real quick. See, there's nobody here. You know, I don't know. That's probably from McDonald's over there. Um, and basically, man, I'm here grinding. So I have this is probably day 4 of me. I lost my job, and I've really been it hasn't been bad, because the reason why is I really had to realize what I've been leaving behind by being comfortable at a job. And what I've been leaving behind is my own independence and me not having a job right now. And I'm putting in applications. I'm putting in like 3 a day. Like I'm not stopping with the applications and stuff. But one thing that I am really realizing is that even with the job, you have to absolutely got to work on your purpose or something outside of a job, because you can't always, this isn't sustainable. It's just not. Like, you know, I'm a, I don't want to, so the thing about a job is that no matter how good you do, you're always going to have to be answering to somebody. Meaning, when you feel like you're ready, when you're ready to be up for a challenge, there's hardly any places that will put you in the position when you're ready, right? Especially, I don't want to put the race card out there, but let's say if you do have, um, you know, more pigmentation than the next person, when you're ready to do something isn't as important as when someone above you feels like you're ready, right? Doesn't matter if you're up for the challenge or not. Now, granted, you can be as honest as possible. It's also your character and stuff, but overall, you know, you've got to be able to push yourself, and you've got to be able to move at your speed, right? You've got to be able to put yourself on in an uncomfortable position often, frequently, in order to grow. You know, so this has been a learning experience. I've been doing Postmates here for a little bit just to kind of supplement some income. I would do DoorDash. They got about 5.5 million reviews and downloads and shit like that. I would do it, but unfortunately, I've had a lot of traffic tickets, violations, and that shit sticks on your record, man. I wish I would have known about that. I would have been a lot better with the way that I've been driving. I had no idea that would stick to your record like that. It's a new time. You don't actually have to have a job. You can do DoorDash. I know a lot of people that do DoorDash and maybe have a part-time job, or just strictly do DoorDash, and they make all their money that way. It's interesting. It's really interesting to do that. I've spent a year and a half doing auditing Facebook videos. So it's really interesting. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead, go into this gym, get it going. Just wanted to document my journey with stuff. And I got some questions. I'm getting some questions from people. You guys bring them in. I love answering questions. So somebody was asking me my top three books, influential books, and why. So I'm going to the top 3 influential books that have changed my life and my perspective. First off, The Rational Male. Second, Start With Why. And third, 12 Rules of Life. Honestly. So first one, The Rational Male. The reason why The Rational Male is oh my God, it's it's crazy. It's crazy. Like, I don't even know where to begin. Once the very first chapter talks about this idea called the one-itis, and it's essentially how in media and mainstream media and just in society, there's this soulmate myth that there's only one person in the world that's good for you, and that's the only one for you, and that's perpetuated through Disney, through television, through movies and stuff like that. And even other people say that, like, oh, you gotta find that one. You're gonna find that one. Dating sites like eHarmony play off that, exploit that sense, and basically it's an exploitation off the feeling that we don't want to be alone. Nobody wants to be alone. Some people do, but that's one of them in a few. I'm not trying to go out to the fucking wilderness and live by myself and try to survive and pit myself against that. Nah, fuck that, man. We in 2020, man. We got fucking hovercrafts and jet streams, and you know what I'm saying, man. Fuck all that shit. So it's this idea of the one-itis, man. We're in a different time. You know what I'm saying? But that does not mean that just because our society is moving at an exponential speed, but our biological and psychological wirings are still the same. A animal cannot evolve in the span of a few years, but our society has, right? Our society now is completely different than it was 20 years ago. Extremely different. I don't know if anyone could have, some people could have predicted it, but I don't know if anyone could have predicted how it is today. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to have a boss nowadays and really supplement yourself. You can do fucking DoorDash. You can do Favor. You can, you know what I'm saying? You can go online, start a Shopify account and really like get your, like, you know what I'm saying? This was not possible 20 years ago, but it is today. You know what I'm saying? So, also with that, dating sites and shit like that, man, it's so easy to go meet people, you know what I'm saying? To link with people, but it's so superficial, you know? It's all looks. Women are starting to do what men did. We're triggered by looks, but now because of dating sites, women are now triggered by looks. That's what they go off of. They go off of looks and they go off of your bio and shit like that. I don't use dating sites like that. I just don't. I can't rock with it. I have sometimes, you know, when I'm just like feeling like, you know, I kind of want to meet a bunch of people, you know. I would get on like POF or some shit like that, but I haven't done it in years lately. And Rational Male, the one it breaks down this idea of the one-itis, and the one-itis is that, you know, like, how do people, like, you get married and then you say that this is the one for you, you married for 30 years, you say they break up and then you want to kill yourself, or, you know, it's just crazy. You're basically like, you're stunting your overall growth by limiting yourself with one person, and there's nothing wrong with that, but the idea is that people do it for the wrong reasons. A lot of people want to get into relationships to secure that, for security. They don't want to be alone. They want to make sure that this person isn't going to cheat on them, isn't going to be with other people. But the fact is that you don't own anybody, and I had to realize that. I still think about my ex to this day, you know, and I meet lots of wonderful people, you know, and I know for a fact that I love more than one person, and I can do that. You know what I'm saying? You can do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just different when you're talking about commitment and when you really want to like just dedicate yourself to somebody. You can't predict the future, but what you can do is you can control your actions, and that's why I still think it's admirable to get into, you know, long-term relationships, to put yourself up for that, because I did that, and I feel like I delivered to the best of my results. My only issue with that is that sometimes people get into relationships for the wrong fucking reasons. You know, it's for ownership, and I really wish if I could go back in time, I would make sure that I let my ex and people that I love know the way that I'm doing right now with someone that I'm involved with, and people that I do get involved with, men, women. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bi, but I'm just saying in relationships in general, it's so important to let the person know that you're trying to build a relationship with, whether it be intimate, sexual, romantically, businessly, you know, friendship wise, that you're gonna be there for them. You know what I'm saying? That no matter what happens in life, you know, they can always have, you're a safe hub, you're a safe center. You know what I'm saying? When you're playing hide and go seek, this is the safe spot. I'm your fucking safe spot. I got you. You know what I'm saying? No matter what happens, you can always hit me up. We're in a time where it's instant communication and shit, man. It's different. You gotta act differently. We gotta do different things. But, you know, I don't think we were ever really hardwired for monogamy. I think that honestly our lifespan has been tremendously elongated. We're living to 80, 90, hundreds of years old, you know what I'm saying? And that wasn't happening 40, 50 years ago. People were dying around 50. People were dying around 40. It was common in the 40s to be dead by 40. People got married at that time because they were gonna die at their 50s, 40, 50s. Not anymore. We've got to adjust to the times. The time that you invest with somebody, you need to make sure that that person knows that it was not for naught. It was not for granted. You know what I'm saying? Rational Male. I truly think that it's good for every single fucking man. It breaks you out of this mindset, and I think a woman should read it too. So start with why. Bro, basically, why the fuck do you do what you do? You know, people get into businesses and they make decisions for the wrong reasons as well. So people will get into lawyer, become a doctor or some shit, go to college, invest $20,000, $100,000 in debt, and then they get out of it and then they're like, what the fuck, why did I do this for? I don't even know why I did it. You know what I'm saying? Start with Why is a great book for that, man. It tells you how to search for the why. It gives you great examples like Apple, Samsung, you know, it gives it Dell, Microsoft. It gives you true life examples of people who have demonstrated the golden circle, which is why, and then the why goes into how, and then the how turns into what you do. But oftentimes we find out what it is that we want to do, and then sometimes we'll get to the how, but hardly ever do we understand why, right? Good book. And the third book, 12 Rules of Life by Jordan Peterson. Absolutely fantastical guy, man. I gotta tell you, like, he's one of the greatest intellectuals of this generation right now, you know. It's just amazing, man. The stuff that he says is completely like paradigm shifting, you know. He includes a rational, logical perspective on religion and Christianity, and he ties it into an applicable, rational way. You know, oftentimes, you know, we have the moral standpoints of religion here that tells you to do one thing, and then we have real life experiences that almost like that tells you a totally different thing. And sometimes religion and real life contradicts each other. Oftentimes people in like who are very devout Christians, Catholics, or whatever, struggle with their sexual drive because Catholicism and Christianity says, oh, you're sinful if you're having sex out of marriage and stuff like that. And come on, man, we're animals trying to subscribe to this idea of morality, and the truth is that we are beings of higher consciousness, and we can truly control ourselves. And we not only can we control ourselves, but we can step outside of our present situation and look towards the future and ascend and look at a higher version of ourselves and implement the higher self into the present. That was a lot, but we can do that, but it's still hard. You can't always operate on that. You can do it more like longer periods of time, and you can just by practice, but you can't ignore your own innate tribal primal drives. And that's the issue with religion and just people today. We tend to forget that we're animals, and not only that, but we try to we self flagellate ourselves because we have these desires. We have these desires to, you know, get an adrenaline rush, to have an impulsive sex. Now, of course, I'm not advocating for impulsive sex. You make decisions based off of logic and what's in front of you and stuff, you know, being safe and shit. Don't get top from a homeless woman just because she's offering you $5 for the shit. I saw a video on World Star Hip Hop. Y'all niggas is nasty as fuck, but you know what I'm saying? Like, just acknowledge it. Don't flagellate yourself for that shit. Don't punish yourself for that stuff, man. Just work with it, acknowledge it, understand it, and then decide if you should act on it or not, right? So, 3 books: Rational Male, Start with Why, 12 Rules of Life. They're extensive book reads, but I promise you, you will never be the same after you read those things. You will be better. You will be a better person for the long run and in the present. I promise, I guarantee. Thank y'all so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Ask some more questions, you guys. Get in my DMs. Follow me at It's Trey's Way. Get on my Facebook and stuff like that too, y'all. Peace.